So this video is going to be about solar panel and some ideas that I've had, because I like solar power and I like the idea, and I would want to get like panels installed. I guess for an example, I don't know if you can see on that house, you probably can't, but on that house, that roof, they do have, I'm sure you've seen it, paneling. But I've got a quote from that. I had a quote from it many years ago, and it was about £7,000, which was a lot. And they said that was £7,000 only for the installation that will allow you to have electricity in your house, and it didn't include the battery, so you wouldn't be able to have it at night. This is definitely a problem for me because I don't really need electricity during the day because the sun comes through the roof, the room is nice and warm. You know, I don't need, maybe I need a kettle or two or a microwave, but that's about it. So that is completely useless for me. So I would not spend £7,000. And plus I'm a single person, so that's definitely not something that I would want to spend only to save money for myself, which is very minimal. But then I was thinking, like, is there like a way of cheapening it? Like, can you just have like a small panel? You know, I've got, for example, I've got big windows here with the sun coming through, and it would be so easy to just like have like maybe 2 pins on the ceiling and then just have a flap that opens up. So during the day, if I'm not here, if I'm sunbathing, then I won't be able to do it unless I put it on that side. But a lot of people go to work, or they're not in the house during the day, or perhaps they're upstairs or whatever. But if they can have something that's like a portable solar panel, so like this, for example. So I've got a smaller one, folds up, and it's quite good. And I was trying to look like if there's a bigger size, but for the size that's twice as big as this, for some reason it's £45 and this one was 11. So it's like, do I buy 2 for 11 or do I buy one for 45? Which, yeah, obviously it would be better to buy 2 for 11. And I have actually bought a third one now. I bought 2, but I like these lights, and they charge very well from this thing, and you can have them. I've never actually, I've been using them for about 2, 3, 4 weeks now, and they've never actually run out. So I don't actually know how long they charge or they last for, because I've been charging it every single day and then using it every single night. And even though the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting longer, I've still not come across a point where it actually stops working. So it's obviously doing quite a good job. It's minimal light, very little power, and the solar power is I use them to light my fish tank. I've got 2, so I'd put 2 on my fish tank, have them all night so that the fish have a little bit of light. I know they like swimming and they can't do it if it's completely dark, so having a light allows them to be able to swim if they wanted to. And then I have one for my hamster, because he also doesn't like being in the dark. I think he's blind, but I have actually seen that he can actually avoid walls, so I don't think he's completely blind. So I think he does appreciate the light. And then I've actually got 12 of them, but I charge all. I've only got. That's why I bought a second one, so I can use one for 6 and then the other one for them. But yeah, I've used this. I've been using it every night and I've not had any problems. It's not run out. I've got this one, which is also provides more light. You can't really see it now, but I've put one on there which actually provides quite a lot of light. And I don't. You've got that one and the torch, but I find that they're not really appropriate. This one seems more like a sort of room light rather than, so I have this on every single night as well. This though doesn't provide, because it's quite small, it doesn't actually provide. In the summer, you don't need any extra. You can just leave it on all night and it'll probably last about, you can leave it on all day and it will last about 6-7 hours. But in the winter, especially if it's a cloudy day, if it's winter and it's a cloudy day, so this month, if there's no sun, then I would find that there would only be about an hour of that. So because of that, that's why I've got another one of these, so that it helps like make it last longer. And I do actually have 2 of these as well. My goal, I guess, was to alternate them. So if it's charging for 2 days, then it will probably get about 6 hours. But that's only if it's sunny. That's not if it's cloudy. If it's cloudy, then it's about an hour. Hence, well, I have 2, but even that's not enough. In the winter, there's like not that much sun. So, but yeah, I'm just seeing like, because this is kind of an idea, like a good idea to try and see if it's possible to just like live off lighting from your own solar panel. But yeah, it's not possible with tiny things like this, but it would be possible if it was like just want like a big panel that wasn't thousands of pounds. You just pay like maybe even a few hundred pounds, stick it on every day, and then you need something like this, but a box. You know, if you had, because heating is so expensive, that is the main thing that costs a huge amount. And I guess if you had something like, see this, it's a mini heater, and it is very good, and okay, yes, it plugs to the mains, but if you could design a box that was specifically designed to put on a window, charge up throughout the day, and even if there's only like 6-7 hours of sunlight, you know, you still get an hour or two a day of free heating. You know, if there was like some sort of project, you know, I know there's a lot of pensioners now that are going to be complaining about not getting any pension or any funding towards their heating and stuff, but you know, that is hundreds of pounds every single year that they are going to be getting. Whereas if there was some sort of program or just a way of promoting some sort of like a giant version of that clips onto a box that's kind of similar to this, because this actually stores battery, that stores power in there. So I have a giant one of this clipped onto a box like this, and then something that likes this, and then test to see how long the power lasts. If it's a cloudy day, how much free electricity would you get? You know, having one of these on, even if it's only for like an hour or two a day, does actually make quite a big difference to the room. And I suppose you've also got a sort of upgraded version, which is something like this. And you know, how long, if you had a solar panel with a big battery, so like I guess a giant version of this, just bigger version of this, a bigger version of this, how long would these two last for? You know, how long can you keep them going? Because if the answer is you can get an extra 2 hours of heating every single day, then I feel like just something like that might actually make a difference. You know, it might, if especially if it's just a single person, and you know, I also bought as an experiment last year. It's like a mini electric blanket. So you know how electric blanket goes and there's like a little wire that heats it up? This is basically like a mini electric blanket, and I was trying to see if I could use this box to get the electricity from the panel and then charge this, but it didn't work. This wasn't enough power to charge that. But yeah, it's great for lighting. You know, well, it's not great for lighting. It's not very big light, but I have the main lighting in, like, so I have two sections of the room, so I have proper like a light in there. But sometimes, you know, I like dim lighting. And so just having this on the other side, I feel like just adds the kind of, I don't like bright lighting. It hurts my eyes. I like natural lighting. So this is bright, but this is natural light. And I hate bright fake light. Fake light is not something that I like. But something like this is actually, it's subtle, and it makes a difference. And you might not know that that it is just it is all solar powered lights. But yeah, I would, if I could fund or recommend, you know, I've seen them on eBay. There are some boxes on eBay. They're about £300, £360 for I think it's called a camping box, and but the thing is they have so many different plug sockets in it that I'm just like, would this actually work? And you know, if I was to plug this into one of those camping boxes, and they have I've seen it. They've got one that's like a portable version of this, and you're supposed to lay it out on the lawn if you're camping, and you get a bit of electricity. But I feel uncertain about whether or not it would actually work for a heater, because technically a heater would be the only thing that I would want to charge, and I wouldn't want to spend £600-700 on something that doesn't have enough power to work this, you know, and therefore I would like to. It would be nice if they weren't presented as camping boxes. You know, if they're presented as camping boxes, you would be like, oh well, they're going to charge my computer, I don't have a problem with charging my computer. You know, it's very, very cheap to have a TV on or have a computer on. These things are very, very cheap. It's the thing that is most expensive is heating, and therefore I think if I was to design something like this, I wouldn't present it as a heating box. I would present it as I wouldn't present it as a camping box. I would present it as a way of getting, you know, 1 or 2 hours of free heat every day. You just charge it up during the day, and then at night you can you know, if there was a sort of information about how long the fire would last, you know, that would be something that I would want to present. And I found this interesting thing because I was thinking, like, if the power goes out and my fish tank can't warm up, you know, is there a way of having something that can plug into something, even if it's just as small as this? Is there a way of plugging something into this and then putting it in my fish tank so that it can heat it up? And I did actually find something, but it was called a butt warmer plug. So I guess the idea is you plug the USB in and stick it in your butt, and it warms your butt up, which sounds ridiculous, but I was just thinking, why don't you call it a fish tank warmer? And it said it's waterproof as well. It's 100% waterproof, and if you stick it in a fish tank and then stick it into something like this, can you keep your fish tank warm? You know, I believe it would work because it's a heater, but it's because it's not had been tested for a fish tank. It's only been tested for warming up your arse crack. I feel like they're selling it wrongly. If they were to do its test to see if you can actually heat a fish tank with it, say if the power goes out and it's kind of like an emergency heater, I would buy it. If I knew that could heat up a fish tank for a couple of days if the power were to go out, I would definitely buy it. But yeah, selling it as a butt plug isn't really the I think there's better ways of selling that, or better ways of promoting its use, but you do need to kind of test to see if it actually works. So I just want to say that.